Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge scroll single wall sconce. This is the 24531. I happen to have it right here, so there's a lot of things that we can look at and really get into details on it. Let's do this to begin with. Let's put the glass on and show you all the installation stuff. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations, instructions, PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list. So you have your fixture, you have a mounting bracket that goes on the back, you're going to have your glass right here, and you're also going to have a retaining ring, which is going to hold the glass onto the socket itself. This is going to come with a tool. This tool basically is going to take the place of your hand, which is too big to get into that glass. So you basically, you'll notice in those installations instructions, you're going to take the retaining ring, you're going to put it in the end of this flared end. Like I said before, it's going to take the proxy of your hand. And you basically take your glass, you put it on the fixture, and mind you, you can point this down or you can point this up. It's a very great fixture for that. Actually, you know what I usually do? I usually kind of do a little trick. My little trick is basically putting that in there, kind of putting this like this, and then I kind of slide this in. So it makes it a little easier to keep the retaining ring on that tool. And you just twist it, again, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, remember that? And tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. Not too tight, you don't want to break your glass. And take that out, and you notice it's gone because it's on the retaining ring. So now we have this facing down. It's going to get that right. So you have to play with it a little bit to get it right. So it looks great facing down, also can face up too. So when we talk about the size of this, let's kind of get into it since we have it here. This is 10 inches tall, coming in at 5 inches wide. Projection from the wall coming out is coming in at 8 1/4, so you have all that stuff to do as well. Glass is 5 inches in diameter by 5.5 inches total. It's Hubbardton Forge's opal glass, which I'll talk about in detail a little later in the video. This is your mounting bracket. This is going to go on your wall. It's going to go on your junction box, actually. This is your 4-inch J box, what you guys have at home. This is going to go right on the back of that. And again, you can point it up or you can point it down. So it's a very nice fixture that way that you can tweak this to make this go from rustic, traditional, all the way to super contemporary by how you point it and what kind of finishes that you use. It's going to be using a medium base socket, which is great because when you use medium base sockets, the nice thing is you can get tons of light out of this. If you want to go for an incandescent bulb, and you still can, you can use a 100-watt bulb in this without a problem. But there's great LEDs that work as well. It's an A19 bulb. That's a recommended bulb size. You can, again, play around with it, and you could probably get an A20 in here too, which is going to be a little larger than these guys, and without a problem, I think. But you know what? These are going to be able to come in lots of different ways. So this is your traditional LED. These are the kind of newer ones. It's called a phosphorus one that has the little tabs running through it, the orange tabs. I have found this A19 bulb, the same one, I think it is the same one, I think it was Walmart, and it was a 150-watt equivalent. And then I happened to be scouting around online, and I found an A19 that was 175-watt equivalent. Do you need that much light coming out of this? Probably not, but even a 100-watt equivalent would be pretty great. If you had 2 of these flanking mirrors in bathrooms, or like in a hallway, or possibly going down the stairs, so you can just tons of light coming out of this thing, and it'll light up the room too. You can really get lots out of this. So these are going to be offered to you in all kinds of different ways when you go into the store or you're online. And we're talking Ace Hardware, True Value, Home Depot. My grocery store in Vermont sells these, including our drug stores even sell these things too. I see them at CVS. So anyway, they're going to offer these to you in a couple different ways. They're going to offer them to you in 2700 Kelvin, which is a super yellow light. They're also going to offer these to you in something called daylight. And when you're out looking at LEDs, be really careful because daylight sounds like a warm light, but it's not. That's that bluish white hospital waiting room light, convenience store, overcast daylight. What we like to use in our showroom is basically called warm white or soft white. It's the nice warmth of this incandescent light coming down, but these are actually LEDs above me. This is 3000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale, warm white, soft white. Again, you can get them everywhere. It's not a big deal. And the other thing about this fixture is it's dimmable as well, obviously, and you just want to make sure that when you're buying your bulbs, you buy dimmable versions. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear, then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below. So scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart. So you can click on dark smoke. You can click on soft gold. Doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. In those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.